How do estate agents beat cheap fee agents? Talk to me.
Assault and battery, Chris. No, I think. Listen, there are several things at play here. Firstly, there's, as we've discussed earlier, knowing your competition. You've got to know what they're out there and what they're doing and what they're saying. If you don't know that, how can you arm for it? How can you fight for it? You're going into battle not necessarily with the right tools. Okay. You've equally got to understand what is the viewpoint of the person you're dealing with. You know, what do they see as important? It's not what I think is important, it's what they think are important. What a lot of agents forget is by the time they go through the door of that property, and in any given area there's probably 15, 20 competitors, most people you usually get between 2 and 3 people through the door, sometimes a little bit more. By the time they do that, they've already done their own assessment of the market. They've narrowed it down to probably 2 or 3 agents. Mm-hmm. So the only thing you can do as one of those 3 agents is mess it up, because you're one of those ones that they have chosen. And they've chosen you for a reason. When you go through the door, do you spend your time justifying yourself and selling your wonderful services, when in a lot of cases they've already done that assessment to get you through the door in the first place? Or do you spend your time building a relationship with them, understanding what's important for them, and using your services as a benefit to help them achieve their goal?
I've lost some words.
Now that's a first.
And I'm new to that. I can't come back. You've hit the nail on the head.
Thank you, mate.
You really have.
And I think at the end of the day, you've got to look at things like fees and where does that come into it.
Okay, well, here's the big question then, leading on.
Yeah.
So how the hell do you get more valuations then to make yourself one of the 3?
I think you've got to be seen in your marketplace, and I think you've actually got to engage with people across a multitude of spectrums. Do not forget, the best way of instruction ever is recommendation. And I think if you talk to a lot of agents, they see the beginning of somebody's house moving journey is when they pick up the phone and book a valuation, or email it or whatever. Let's be honest, that's not the beginning of their journey. The beginning of their journey is when they sit at home thinking, oh, shall we move? Let's just see what else is out there. Let's just see what's on the market. Let's just see what's been sold similar to our own. By the time they pick up the phone to start that, they've already made a number of decisions along that route. So I think, for me, a lot of agents probably need to look at what they're actually putting out there on an ongoing basis to try and ensure that they're in the first place. Ask for recommendation. Again, things like customer reviews at the moment are very hot topics, but it's when do you ask for a customer review? Do you do it when the person's elated, or do you do it when they're depressed? You know, and there are various stages of a transaction.
What would you recommend?
Obviously elated. So, a typical example, if somebody's going to put their house on the market, the one time when they are elated is when they've just agreed and signed up with you to put their house on the market. You've not done anything wrong then.
Is that why when I book a holiday, I get a request for a review even before I've been on holiday? That's probably why.
Correct, because you're in a state of glee and relief. You've made a decision, you've booked your holiday, you're looking at the photographs.
So that's what Pebble Bricks must be doing, because they're asking for reviews when the house goes on the market.
Correct, which is a very clever thing to do. You're asking somebody at the peak of their feel-good factor. If somebody's had a viewing, that's a good time to do it. If somebody's just accepted an offer, that's a good time to do it. At the end of the transaction is a difficult one, because you're not necessarily in control of the whole journey that they've had. You've got solicitors involved, you've got surveyors involved, you've got buyers involved, you've got their agents involved. Any one of those can sour the feeling of that transaction. You may have done a perfectly brilliant job, but if the property owner's experience during that journey hasn't been brilliant, you don't get that top mark.
Amazing.